The massive ships appeared in the sky without warning. People all over Earth looked up to see strange objects floating above every major city. They were smooth and silver, shaped like giant leaves, and they moved without making any sound. In Seoul, Dr. Kim Hana stood on the roof of the United Nations building. She watched the alien ships through her binoculars. As the head language expert for Earth's space program, she had spent years trying to understand possible alien languages. Now the aliens were really here. "Dr. Kim, they're sending a signal," said her assistant, handing her a tablet. Strange symbols moved across the screen. "I need to run this through our translation system," she said, her hands shaking slightly. This was the moment her whole career had prepared her for. Inside the emergency control room, world leaders gathered around screens showing the alien ships. President Jun appeared on the main screen from the Korean National Assembly building. "Dr. Kim, what are they saying?" he asked, his voice tense. Hana studied the patterns in the alien message. "They call themselves the Galactic Conclave. They say they have been watching Earth for hundreds of years." More symbols appeared on her screen. The computer worked to translate them. Hana's eyes widened as she read the message. "They want to meet with Earth's leaders. Right away." Within hours, representatives from every country gathered in the large United Nations hall. Security teams stood ready, though what protection they could offer against such advanced visitors was unclear. The air in the center of the room began to shimmer. 3 tall figures appeared. They had skin that seemed almost see-through, showing blue and purple veins underneath. Their eyes were large and completely black. They wore simple white clothes that seemed to float around their thin bodies. The tallest alien stepped forward. A small device on its chest glowed, and a voice came from it. "I am Ambassador Tool of the Galactic Conclave. We bring greetings from the 500 worlds of our union." President Jun stepped forward. "We welcome you to Earth. We have many questions." "As do we," said Tool, looking around the room with those dark eyes. "Your species has developed quickly, faster than we expected." Hana studied the aliens carefully. Something about their body language seemed off. Even though the translation device worked well, she felt they were hiding something. "Why have you come now?" asked President Jun. Ambassador Tool made a gesture with his long fingers. "We have been watching your progress. You have reached a level where contact is appropriate. We wish to welcome Earth into our conclave." The world leaders looked at each other. This seemed like good news. "However," continued Tool, "we require certain resources from your planet, materials that are rare in our part of the galaxy." "What resources?" asked the American president. "Water, various metals, and a particular element in your planet's core that is valuable to us." Hana stepped closer to President Jun. "They're talking about large amounts of resources. This isn't just a sample for study." President Jun nodded. "What do we receive in exchange for these resources?" The alien's expression changed slightly. The room temperature seemed to drop. "Your continued existence," Tool said simply. The room went silent. Then angry voices rose as leaders protested. Tool raised a hand. "You misunderstand. The galaxy is dangerous. Many species would see your planet as nothing but resources to take. By joining us, you receive our protection." But Hana saw through the words. "They're threatening us," she whispered to President Jun. "This isn't an alliance, it's a demand." President Jun stood tall. "We need time to discuss your offer." "You have 48 hours, said Tool. "Then we require your answer." The 3 aliens disappeared as suddenly as they had arrived. Emergency meetings began immediately. Military leaders showed satellite images of more alien ships appearing behind the moon. "We have no weapons that can reach them," said General Park, "and their technology is hundreds of years ahead of ours." "So we just give them whatever they want?" asked President Jun. "The resources they're asking for would destroy our environment," said Hana. "And once we start giving them what they want, they'll never stop taking." As night fell, Hana stood alone by the window, looking at the alien ships hanging in the sky. They glowed softly against the darkness. Beautiful but terrifying. Her phone, buzzed with a message that seemed to come from nowhere. The screen showed only a few words. Hold them off. Help is coming. She didn't recognize the sender, but deep in the darkness of space, unknown to the aliens or almost anyone on Earth, something was moving toward them, humanity's last hope. 15 years before the alien ships appeared over Earth, a secret project was hidden deep inside an asteroid in the far reaches of the solar system. The asteroid looked empty and lifeless from the outside. Inside, 400 people worked day and night on humanity's biggest secret. Commander Lee Jinwoo walked through the curved metal hallways of the hidden base. Workers nodded respectfully as he passed. Everyone knew the commander and everyone knew how important their work was. "How is the engine today?" Jinwoo asked as he entered the main control room. Chief Engineer Kang Minji looked up from her screens with tired eyes. She had been working for 20 hours straight. "Better," she said. "The fusion core is stable now, but the power systems still overheat after 30 minutes. Jinwoo looked through the large window at their creation. The HSS Defiance filled the huge cave carved into the asteroid. It was the largest ship humans had ever built and definitely the most powerful. "We found something interesting in Section C of the alien wreckage," said Dr. Bae Dae-hyun, walking up with a small metal object in his hand. 15 years ago, an alien scout ship had crashed in the Arctic. Most countries didn't know about it. The ship and its technology were moved to this secret base. "What is it?" asked Jinwoo. "We think it's part of their navigation system," said Dr. Bae. "The material changes shape when electricity passes through it." Jinwoo nodded. Every small discovery helped them understand the alien technology better, and every small discovery went into building the Defiance. Captain Han Sung-ho entered the control room. As second in command, he handled the daily operations of the base. "The new crew members have arrived," he reported. 20 scientists and 15 military personnel, all top in their fields. "Did they all leave their lives behind without questions?" asked Jinwoo. Sung-ho nodded. "They were told it was for the safety of Earth, nothing more." That was how Project Prometheus worked. The best minds from around the world, secretly recruited, told only that they were working on something that might someday save humanity. They couldn't tell their families where they were going. Many had given up promising careers, some had left behind children. "Show me the latest test results," Jinwoo said, turning to the main screen. Numbers and graphs appeared, showing the performance of the Defiance's weapon systems. The ship combined human technology with what they had learned from the alien wreckage. It was designed to fight, though they didn't know who they might need to fight against. "The shield system failed after taking 3 direct hits in the simulation," reported Minji. "We need at least 2 more months to fix the power distribution problems." Jinwoo frowned. "We don't have months. Command wants the ship ready for testing in 2 weeks. "That's impossible," Minji protested. "The neural interface system isn't ready yet. If we rush this, people could die." The neural interface was the most advanced part of the ship. It would connect the crew directly to the ship's systems, allowing them to control it with their thoughts. Nothing like it had ever been built before. "I understand the risks," said Jinwoo. "But something is happening. Command wouldn't push the schedule unless they had a reason." That night, Jinwoo couldn't sleep. He stood in the observation room looking at the Defiance through the window. The ship was beautiful and terrifying. It represented humanity's greatest achievement and their greatest fear, that they weren't alone in the universe and that the others might not be friendly. His communication device buzzed. The message was brief but set his heart racing. "First contact made. Unknown ships over major cities. 48-hour ultimatum given." Jinwoo pressed the base-wide alarm button. Red lights flashed throughout the asteroid. "All personnel report to stations," he announced over the speakers. "This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." Within minutes, the control room was filled with confused and scared faces. "The moment we've prepared for has arrived," Jinwoo told them. "Alien ships have appeared over Earth. They've given our leaders an ultimatum." Silence fell over the room as everyone realized what this meant. "The Defiance isn't ready," Minji said quietly. It will have to be, replied Jinwoo. Prepare for immediate launch. We're taking the ship to Earth. As the crew rushed to their positions, Jinwoo looked one more time at the massive battleship. It was humanity's only hope, ready or not. The Defiance broke free from its hidden dock inside the asteroid. The enormous battleship moved slowly at first, then faster as its engines powered up. Blue light glowed from the back of the ship as it headed toward Earth, leaving the safety of its hiding place for the first time. On the bridge, Commander Lee Jinwoo sat in the captain's chair, watching as his crew worked at their stations. They had trained for years for this moment, but nothing could have prepared them for the real thing. Engine temperature rising, reported Chief Engineer Kang Minji. The fusion core is running at 80% capacity. Keep it below 85%, ordered Jinwoo. We need these engines to last all the way to Earth. The journey would take them 3 days at top speed. The alien ships had given Earth only 2 days to decide. They would be cutting it very close. Navigation. Systems failing, called out Officer Yoon Subin suddenly. Her hands moved quickly over her control panel, but nothing happened. The star mapping program isn't responding. Jinwoo frowned. This was one of the systems they hadn't fully tested yet. It combined human navigation technology with the alien systems they had studied. Switch to backup systems, he ordered. Backup systems aren't responding either, said Subin. It's like the ship doesn't know where to go. Dr. Bae Dae-hyun, who had been quietly watching from the side of the bridge, stepped forward. We need to try the neural interface. The room went silent. The neural interface was the most experimental part of the ship. It would connect a human mind directly to the ship's systems. It hasn't been tested with a real person yet, said Minji, with concern. We don't know if it's safe. We have no choice, said Dr. Bae. The alien technology responds to thought patterns. Our regular controls aren't working because the systems were never designed to be used the way we're using them. Jinwoo nodded slowly. Who do you recommend for the interface? I'll do it, said Lieutenant Park Yuna, stepping forward. She was young, but she had scored highest in all the neural response tests during training. 20 minutes later, Yuna sat in a special chair in the ship's control center. Small metal discs were attached to her head, connecting her to the ship's AI system named Iris. Just relax, said Dr. Bae. Think about Earth. Think about our destination. Yuna closed her eyes. At first, nothing happened. Then the ship's lights flickered. On the main screen, star maps appeared, showing a clear path to Earth. It's working, whispered Minji in amazement. Yunha opened her eyes. They glowed slightly blue, the same color as the ship's engines. I can feel the ship, she said softly. It's alive somehow. Over the next few hours, more crew members were connected to the neural interface system. Each one controlled a different part of the ship. Together with Iris, they formed something new. Not just humans using a machine, but humans and machine working as one. As they passed the orbit of Jupiter, sensors detected something ahead. Alien ships, reported Officer Kim Jun-ho from the security station. Small ones, probably monitoring. Outposts. Will they see us? Asked Jinwoo. Yunha, still connected to the navigation system, shook her head. No, our technology is different from theirs. We're invisible to their sensors. The Defiance moved silently past the alien outposts. Through the main window, the crew could see the small alien ships. They were leaf-shaped, just like the larger ones that had appeared over Earth. They have no idea we're here, said Captain Han Sung-ho with a smile. That will be our advantage. As they approached Mars, a message came through from Earth. Dr. Kim Hana's face appeared on the screen. Commander Lee, she said urgently. The aliens are growing impatient. They've started positioning weapons around major cities. We need more time. We'll be there in 12 hours, promised Jinwoo. Just hold them off a little longer. The Defiance increased speed, pushing its experimental engines to the limit. The ship shook as they passed through the asteroid belt between Mars and Earth. Engine temperature at 90%, warned Minji. If we push any harder, We risk overheating. We have no choice, said Jinwoo. Earth is running out of time. As the blue planet came into view, the crew of the Defiance fell silent. Surrounding Earth were dozens of alien ships, much larger than their own. Position us behind their main command ship, ordered Jinwoo. And prepare all systems. We're about to introduce ourselves to the Galactic Conclave. The Defiance appeared suddenly behind the largest alien ship orbiting Earth. For a moment, no one on either side moved. The human battleship, though smaller than the alien vessels, glowed with a strange blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. On the bridge of the Defiance, Commander Lee Jinwoo stood tall. Around him, his crew remained, connected to the ship through the neural interface, their eyes glowing softly blue. Open all communication channels, Jinwoo ordered. Let them see us. On the main screen, the image of Ambassador Tool appeared. The alien's normally calm face showed clear surprise. This is Commander Lee Jinwoo of the human spaceship Defiance, Jinwoo announced. We request immediate negotiations regarding your demands to our planet. Tool stared silently for several seconds before responding. Impossible. Your species does not possess this level of technology. As you can see, we do, replied Jinwoo calmly. We wish to talk peacefully, but know that we will defend our home if necessary. The alien's large black eyes narrowed. How did you acquire this vessel? Such technology is beyond your development stage. Lieutenant Park Yuna, still connected to the navigation systems, whispered to Jinwoo. They're moving their ships to surround us. Jinwoo nodded slightly. Ambassador Tool, we have monitored your kind as well. 15 years ago, one of your scout ships crashed in our Arctic region. We learned much from it. The alien's face changed. Anger replaced surprise. That technology belongs to the Conclave. You have stolen what is not yours. We used what came to our world, Jinwoo responded. Just as you plan to take what belongs to us. The difference is, we're not threatening your existence. The communication suddenly cut off. On the tactical display, the alien ships moved into attack formation around the Defiance. They're charging weapons, reported Officer Kim Junho from the security station. All ships targeting us. Jinwoo looked around at his crew. This is what we prepared for. Activate defense systems. The blue glow around the Defiance grew brighter. The neural interface hummed as the crew's thoughts merged with the ship's systems. The first alien blast came from a small ship to their right. The energy beam shot toward the Defiance, but instead of hitting the hull, it seemed to be absorbed by an invisible field around the human vessel. Shields holding at 95%, reported Minji. The alien energy is being redirected into our power systems. They're actually charging our weapons. On the command ship of the Galactic Conclave, Ambassador Tool watched in disbelief as the human vessel absorbed their attack. His second-in-command, a tall alien named Vex, approached. How is this possible? Vex asked. Their shields should have failed immediately. They've modified our technology, Tool replied slowly. But there's something else. Something we don't understand. On the Defiance, Yunha suddenly gasped. Through the neural interface, she could feel the alien ship's systems. Commander, I can see into their network. Their ships are all connected to a central command system. Can you access it? Asked Jinwoo. Yunha closed her eyes, concentrating. Not directly, but I can confuse it. The crew watched as the alien ships suddenly began moving erratically. Some fired weapons that missed completely. Others drifted out of formation. Now, ordered Jinwoo. Target their main command ship's weapon systems only. We don't want to destroy them. The Defiance fired a single blue beam that struck Tool's ship, precisely where its weapons were located. The alien vessel shuddered but remained intact. All ships cease fire, came Tool's voice over the communication system. The alien ship stopped attacking and moved back into a defensive position. Tool's face appeared again on the screen. You could have destroyed my ship, he said, sounding confused. That's not our goal, replied Jinwoo. We want peace, but on equal terms, not as your servants. For the first time, the alien seemed uncertain. The Conclave has encountered thousands of developing worlds. None have ever resisted like this. Then perhaps, said Jinwoo, it's time for the Conclave to learn something new about humanity. The Galactic Conclave called an emergency meeting. For the first time in their long history, they faced a species that had fought them to a standstill. Ambassador Tull sat at the center of the circular room, surrounded by holographic images of the Conclave Council members from across the galaxy. These humans should not have this technology, said Council Member Dren, her voice sharp with anger. They stole it, they should be punished. But they used it in ways we never imagined, replied Council Member Lav. Their neural interface with the ship's systems is something entirely new. On board the Defiance, a similar meeting was taking place. Commander Lee Jinwoo had invited Dr. Kim Hana to join them from Earth. As the leading expert on alien communication, her skills were needed now more than ever. They want to meet again, Hana told the crew. But this time, they're calling it a negotiation, not giving orders. Can we trust them? Asked Captain Han Sung-ho. No, Hana said simply, but we can try to understand them better. The meeting was set for the next day in a neutral location, an orbital platform that the aliens created between the Defiance and their command ship. Each side would send 3 representatives. Jinwoo chose himself, Dr. Kim Hana, and Lieutenant Park Yuna to attend. Yuna had shown the strongest connection to the ship's systems through the neural interface. She understood the alien technology in ways that even the scientists didn't. As they entered the meeting room, Ambassador Tull was already waiting with 2 other aliens. The room was designed to accommodate both species, with seating for the taller aliens and the shorter humans. We have studied your ship, Tull began. We do not understand how you have improved our technology. We didn't just copy it, explained Yunha. We connected with it. To demonstrate, she placed her hand on the table. The neural interface in her brain activated, and the table's surface began to glow with the same blue light as the Defiance. The aliens moved back, clearly surprised. What is this ability? Asked one of Tull's companions. It's not an ability, said Hana. It's just who we are. Humans adapt. We imagine. We create. The Conclave has rules about developing worlds, said Tull. Species must reach certain technological milestones before they can join us. But you were going to take our resources anyway, Jinwoo pointed out. Tull's skin changed color slightly, showing what might have been embarrassment. Yes, that is our way with worlds that have not reached spacefaring status. Then perhaps your way needs to change, said Hana quietly. The negotiations continued for hours. The Conclave wanted access to Earth's resources but now offered technology and knowledge in return. The humans wanted recognition as equals and protection from other threats in the galaxy. Meanwhile, on the Conclave command ship, scientists were studying data from the Defiance. What they found shocked them. The human minds are changing the very nature of our technology, one scientist reported to the council. They don't just use it, they improve it through their connection. In the end, a new agreement was reached. Earth would join the Galactic Conclave not as a resource world to be harvested, but as a full member with equal rights. In exchange, humans would share their unique ability to interface with technology in new ways. As they prepared to return to the Defiance, Ambassador Tull approached Hana privately. In thousands of years exploring the galaxy, we have never encountered a species like yours, he admitted. You were not the most advanced, not the strongest, not even the most intelligent by our measures. Yet you stood against us when no one else has. That's what humans do, replied Hana with a small smile. We face the impossible, and then we find a way. 1 month later, the first official human embassy opened on the Conclave homeworld. The Defiance became the model for a new fleet of ships that would carry humans to the stars. And Lieutenant Park Yunha began teaching aliens how to connect with their own technology in ways they had never imagined. Standing on the observation deck of the Defiance, Commander Lee Jinwoo and Dr. Kim Hana watched Earth growing smaller as they headed toward their next mission. They came looking for resources, said Jinwoo quietly. Instead, they found humans, Hana finished. That made all the difference. The end.